Hey guys, welcome back to KrissBeauty. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christina. Some of you call me Kriss, others Tina. Whatever you prefer, girl, that's fine with me. Guys, happy new year, happy 2021. I am like so excited for this new year, and today's video is actually going to be a little bit different, and I'm very excited about it because I am going to be talking about how to accomplish your goals this year or any year that you're watching this. I think a lot of the times we write down our New Year's resolutions and it could be very overwhelming trying to figure out how to get started and what to do, how to plan. And so I wanted to share some of my pointers on how to get started on completing any goal. Now, I have been working on my weight loss goals, but this can be for financial goals, business goals, spiritual goals, emotional, mental, anything like that. It doesn't only have to be weight loss related, but I'm going to be referencing my weight loss and kind of using that as an example because that's really what I know. So this video is going to be really exciting. So if you're not already subscribed to KrissBeauty, go ahead and do so. Turn on your bell notifications and let's get started. All right, you guys. So I jotted down some notes here on my phone because I have like a bunch to talk about. I'm gonna try to keep it like short and simple, but I just think that it's super important to sort of like really map out your goals, especially for the new year. But this is like at any point in time. I know for me, like when I first started my journey, it was in May, and then when I restarted my weight loss journey, I was like, it was 2 years from that point, so it was in December. So you can really start your change or, you know, figuring out your goals at any point in time. So I'm just gonna go over a couple of things. So for those of you who are new to my channel, when I speak about my weight loss journey, I am referencing me losing 130 pounds over the last 3 years. And so like I said, I will be going back and forth to that and using that as an example because that is really the point where I started to see my goals for what they were. They became very clear and very obtainable to me. So we're gonna speak all about that. So go ahead, grab your popcorn, let's get down to it. Like I said, everybody's goals are different, and no matter what your goal is, I think my first step, and this is before anything, this is before any planning or anything like that, was pretty much being able to visualize where I wanted to be. I think that's a huge thing. I feel like if we cannot put ourselves in the place of knowing where we want to be or thinking that we can get there, then honestly the whole point is really out the window at that point. If you cannot sit there and visualize and really absolutely believe that this is something that you can conquer, it may take super long. Yes, it's going to be frustrating, it's going to be super hard, there's going to be times we want to give up, but if this is something that you can actually visualize yourself doing, I feel like that's absolute step number one, is believing that you absolutely can. And that's easier said than done. When I first started my weight loss journey, it was sort of like a little trial for me, but there was a sort of like a mental light bulb that went off in my head, and it was a point where I felt like, okay, this is something that I can absolutely do. And I guess part of that was starting off with seeing it for such a small goal. But first and foremost, I had to believe 100%, as corny as it sounds, I had to believe that this is something that I was capable of. And if you're in a really negative mindset of, you know, I don't think I could do this, or nothing good ever happens to me, nothing good ever comes to me, and like being in a really bad space, this can be extremely hard. Trust me, I know. I was in that space for a very long time, so I get it. But I think just taking a moment, you know, you could close your eyes, you can, you know, really, you know, get into the mode of like visualizing, but just being able to see yourself there is super like significant. Just knowing that you can see yourself in a new healthy space, financially stable, whatever your goal is, being able to sit in that and see it, it would help you tremendously in knowing that, okay, this is something that I can actually do. So I think that that's step number one, is believing that you absolutely, no matter what it is, no matter how big this goal is, let me tell you, your mind, well, our minds are usually our limitations. So knowing that no matter what, like literally it can be the craziest thing, it could be so far-fetched. For me, I know when I started, I was like, you know, I knew I had to lose at least 100 pounds, and that was like it felt impossible to me, and I was like, I mean, I don't know. And that was part of the reasons why I started off so small, and I was like, I'll see how this goes, because I didn't know how far I was gonna go. And I was the type of person who would stop and I would start something and never be able to see it through. So I totally get it. But sitting down, visualizing where you are, and believing that you absolutely can, that helps with your mindset. Now, step number 2, and this is pretty big. So step number 2 for me was listing my whys. Now, this can be like something as big as like, oh, I want to be able to buy a home in the next 5 years, or I want to be able to run with my kids, or see my daughter get married, or my son get married, based on whatever goal that you have. But it can also be as small as like wanting to like tie your shoes without being like tired. Like, it can be as big or as small as you want it to be. But I highly recommend writing these whys down, because they're gonna matter when you lose your motivation, because you will lose your motivation, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. But they will be your end goal. So writing down your whys, and again, this could be huge things, this could be really minuscule things, but if they're important to you, and if they're the reason why you want to continue to keep going, write down every single why that you have. All right, so step number 3, I feel like this one, let me tell you, this one is absolutely golden for me, and it's not something that I ever heard of or came across before. This is something from my personal experience, but I feel so strongly about this. So if you're gonna watch any part of this video, make sure that you watch this part right here, because this is something that I had to do 2 years. No, this is something that I had to do a year into my journey, when I regained 40 pounds of the 60 pounds that I lost. I was in like the worst depression, anxiety bubble that I have ever been in. And the type of shame and the type of guilt that I felt didn't allow me to move forward. Being able to do this step right here it was a game changer. So the step was listing every single thing I was committed to, regardless of what happened. And this was a huge thing for me, because I am the type of person who lets my emotions get the best of me. My emotions used to be the thing that would drive me to either have a good day or a bad day. So if I woke up in a really bad mood, or if something happened, it would completely throw off everything. And that would include, of course, my eating, you know, how productive I was for the day. Like, it would throw me completely off. And if you could relate, go ahead and comment down below. But having this list of things that I was committed to, no matter what, first of all, it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of pressure. And this is actually something that I included in my fat loss guide. And this is just because, like, you have to be committed to your journey, your goals, your aspirations, no matter what. And there's going to be a lot of the times when you are thrown off track. You're going to have a bunch of obstacles. You're going to have a bunch of very frustrating days, and you're going to want to give up a good amount of times. But having this list, this physical list that you write down, and I just think writing down things is like super powerful. So writing down a list of commitments that you are just 100% committed to, no matter what. For me, some of the things that I wrote down was being committed to a better mental health space, and being committed to my healthy eating habits, because I was in a space of severe depression and anxiety, and I ate whatever I want. I slept, I was angry half the day. I was completely out of control of my emotions. I was out of control of my eating. And so committing to being able to, like, you know, eat and stick to a plan, and, you know, being able to like really commit to me no matter what, that was a huge deal for me. A lot of the times I was waking up very angry, very regretful, very like ashamed of myself, like I said. So I also committed to forgiving myself and forgiving the people around me, because I was in a space where I was angry at some people around me. But it was just a bunch of like commitments. And so I wrote this down, and I made it sort of like a binding contract in my mind, and I signed it and I put it on my wall. And that's another thing, you have to make sure that these things, your whys, your commitments, your goals, they are visually, physically there. Because a lot of the times we write things down in a notebook and we forget about it, and then we like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, no, these are things that especially my commitments, I have it right down next to my bed. And so when I'm having a bad day and I turn over and I'm like ready to like overthink and my mind is racing, I could just turn over and I see these commitments and I'm like, okay, this is a reminder that this was a really bad day or a really bad week, a really bad month, and I'm still committed to what I'm committed to. So that was a huge game changer for me. So write down your list of commitments. That is like huge. Step number 4, I feel is very important because we want to like get to our goals so quick, but like being able to actually see the progress and like realize where we used to be versus where we're going or where we currently are is super important. So I would highly suggest recording where you are right now. So that can be anything from like financial numbers or measurements if this is a weight loss journey for you. It can be pictures. Pictures are bomb. Pictures are so bomb because pictures was something that I use like, and that I still use to this day to sort of like compare and contrast. And I mean, there's nothing better than comparing your old self to your new self. I do not ever recommend comparing yourself to anybody else because everybody has different goals, different journeys, I mean different everything. So being able to compare where you were to where you are now or where you want to go, just record where you're at right now. And this may be a hard step because it's like, I don't want to record being in such a bad place or being in such a tumultuous space or whatever the case is, and right now you may not be the happiest, and so it may be hard to like document that, but document it because it is going to be everything. So pictures, measurements, anything to record where you are right now, a video, anything. So record where you are right now, and then at that point you can go into actually writing down your goals. Now I think this could be an exciting step, but it could be overwhelming. So writing down your big goal, just like your overall goal that you see yourself in a year, 2 years, 5 years from now. Your big overall goal, like what is your end game like goal? Like I said, for me in the beginning, I was like, I want to be like a size 16 and I want to be, you know, at least 100 pounds lighter. I want to like look a certain way. I want to be able to, you know, be just like, you know, picked up without, you know, feeling whatever. I wanted to be more confident. I wanted to just be like completely and utterly like invincible. So write down your big goal and then put it away. And my reason for saying that is because your big goal, as much as it's like important and super like significant to your journey, having it as a constant pressure and a constant reminder can really do more harm than good. And I say that because when you are constantly thinking of the bigger goal and you're not where you need to be, and every single week you're not, like, any journey that you do is like this. People think that journeys are like straight like this, and it's really not. So have your big goal, always have it in mind, but know that it's gonna take a minute to get there. And I use the example of like, if you're traveling to another state, let's say it's from New York to Miami, you know, there's steps that you have to take to get there. You have to pack, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to get on the train, get on the bus, take a cab from here to there. But if you look up in like an hour and you're not in Miami yet, and you wouldn't automatically assume, okay, well, I just can't do it. No, you know that there's steps that you have to do to take to get there. So that's like an example that I would use for that. But yeah, have your big goal. Just know that you're gonna get there. It's gonna take some time. You're gonna get on the plane, but you have to just put it in your back pocket and just know, okay, this is my end goal and I'm gonna get there. So write down your big goal and put it in your back pocket. Now, based off of your big goal, my next step would be to now list super small goals. And this is, listen, every step of this is important, but this is super important because people do not realize, and this is something that I didn't realize, was that our small goals make up our big goals. And it's so cliche, and people are like, all right, I get it, like I have to do this to get there, but really, like, your steps every single day or every week, every month, they matter. Like, especially if you have a huge goal and it feels overwhelming, making sure that you write down super small goals. So I would write down small goals for the month and then small goals for the week. And even if you have to do something as small as like small goals for each day, like you literally have to take it day by day, set a new goal. And having goals and having expectations are two different things. Your goal is something that you definitely work towards and you hope to hit, but if you're not hitting your goals, if you're not hitting absolutely every mark or every single task that you put down, of course you want to reevaluate and you want to figure out what's working and what's not, but also learn that things take time. Know that it is not an easy process. No matter what journey that you're on or what goal you have to accomplish, it's gonna be a lot sometimes. So just know that your small goals, they matter 100%, but learning not to have expectations of like, if I don't hit that goal, then I'm just gonna be unhappy. No, learn to head towards a goal no matter what. And I think now, like at this point, when we've written down our whys, our commitments, our big goal, our small goals, this is the point where we can start planning and setting realistic tasks. And my reason for saying realistic is that, like, especially for me in my weight loss journey, I would set certain numbers for myself or certain plans or things like that that did not fit with who I was. And of course, you want to challenge yourself. That is absolutely like a beautiful thing, but being able to set realistic tasks that you're able to do is so it's just so important. So you want to start planning. This can be anything from planning grocery lists, workout regimens, your schedule, scheduling certain time frames to study or hear podcasts, or anything that is working you towards your goal. And they can be super small tasks, but it has to be within it has to be obtainable. Because if you are a person who works 10 hours a day and you're setting goals to like get up go to the gym before work and after work and meal prep, and you're setting these unrealistic, overwhelming goals, it's gonna burn you out quicker than you could imagine. So set goals that work within your time frame, they work within your budget, whatever. So definitely start writing down and planning tasks to do every single day, every single week, and it's going to help you work towards your goals and really see and schedule out and map out what it is that you need to be doing week to week, day to day. And this last tip that I have is probably above all, but I put it last because we can write down these things and we can get ourselves excited and, believe that we can and all this good stuff. But like, if we do not feel and understand and accept that we're absolutely capable and worth investing in, and knowing that this is our goals and journey no matter what, then it just really defeats the purpose. I think this is easier said than done, but like knowing and accepting that this is your journey, you're absolutely worth this commitment, and you're absolutely worth this, just knowing that you're absolutely worth these goals. I think just realizing that this is something that we're absolutely capable of, and this is something that we're worth doing. And this kind of goes back to step one, but like just really wrapping it up and saying, okay, this is something that not only am I capable of, but something that I'm worth and something that I deserve to give to myself. A lot of the times we kind of self-sabotage because we feel like we have been through some of the worst things in our life. We have been through some of the hardest trials. We've seen things, we've done things, and we don't feel worthy of these things. We don't feel capable. But this is absolute something that is already yours. Whatever has your name on it has your name on it regardless. It's really just about being able to unlock your own potential. And I cannot stress that enough, because I was always a person that was like, looking at other people and seeing them accomplish these things and kind of just assuming that they had this great life already, and that of course everything was aligned, for them. But it's really not about it's not about where you were. And I think that was super like, whoa, like it's not about where you were or where you even are right now. It really is about where you're going and what you're willing to fight for. Because everything that is for us is for us, but what we're willing to work for, that's what sets us apart. And say this, I just feel like a lot of the times we really stand in our own way. We really truly stand in our own way because we feel like this is not in the cards for us. We grew up, whether it was a traumatic, really rough childhood, or you know, we don't have the things that everybody else has, or, you know, just our circumstances are not like everybody else's, it makes us feel like we were only meant to survive, and we're not meant to have the things that we wish for and that we hope for and that we pray for. We just like, those are just dreams. It doesn't put food on the table. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't do anything for us, really. But like, your happiness and your goals and being able to go as far as you want to go, that is literally the key to life. Not to say that, you know, other things are not more important than, you know, other things, but let me tell you something. You are all that you have at the end of the day. And I read this quote yesterday. Well, actually, I heard this quote yesterday and I wrote it down because I felt like it was super important. And I just want to share this. And if you're not religious, then that's fine. But I heard this and I wrote this down in my notes. It was, your potential is God's gift to you, and what you do with that potential is your gift back to God. And that can be God, it can be the universe, whatever it is that you believe in. I respect it 100%. So whatever it is, like, we all have gifts. We all have the power, and a lot of people do not realize this. And this is something that I didn't realize for a long time. I didn't know that I had the power to do things. I didn't know that I had the power to get up and, you know, not be where I was 5, 4, 3, 2, even a year ago. But just know that that power is really within you. And it's not to sound all like, you know, but it really is within you. And we are letting a lot of the times we are letting our self-worth or our, you know, ideas that we have already have of ourselves to override what it is that we're capable of doing. So just in general, I just want you to know that this is something that you can absolutely do. It's something that you are absolutely worth 100 million%. Like, you have to be able to know that you are so worthy of this process. And I just want you to fall in love with the process. I want you to honor the process because, like I said, it's not going to be easy. It is not going to be smooth sailing. There's going to be a lot of rough days, but like, if this is something that you want to do and it's something that you know you can do regardless of the hard days, it's going to get done. So I just want to like add a couple extra tips before we end this video, and that is to be specific with the dates that you want to get things done. I want you to write things down. I want you to be specific to you and your goals. Try not to be as general, and try to be as specific as you can be, because it really makes a difference. For example, if I'm like, okay, I want to lose weight, that's just a general statement. But if I say I want to lose 100 pounds by next Christmas, or, you know, 50 pounds by, you know, my birthday, be specific with your goals, because it's not just like this like general thing that it's like, oh, I'll get it done when I get it done. There's like a big power in actually writing down specific and dates and etc. Also, something that helped me with my journey was affirmations and notes to myself. Some of my hardest days, I've gotten through them by, you know, being able to speak out loud to myself, being able to encourage myself, because really we're all that we, you know, have. And a lot of the times you're not going to get support. A lot of the times people are not going to be excited for you. They're not going to be like always in your corner. So being able to have affirmations, knowing that, being able to write down notes to yourself, stick it where you can stick it. Affirmations and notes help tremendously. And then my last little tip is just to celebrate your failures. You know, I was a person that wouldn't even start something because I was afraid that I was gonna mess it up, and I was like, I might as well just not do it. But there's so much beauty in like doing something and failing versus not doing shit, or not doing nothing at all. Like, just know that if you are failing, you're trying. That means you're taking the steps. So I just really want you to celebrate your failures, honor this process. If you're starting to go, I want you to drop it down below in the comments. I'm so excited for you. I hope this video helped. Be sure to follow me on TikTok, where I document my weight loss journey. I share some of my tips and tricks for how I was able to drop 130 pounds and how I am tackling this year and tackling my own goals this 2021. I'm super excited for you, and I cannot wait to see all your dreams come true. So make sure you follow me at the KrissBeauty on TikTok. If you have anything specific that you want me to cover in next video, make sure you drop it down below. and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited for this year. Happy New Year, you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.